also want to go back to you had I had talked about Nasheem Malik. When you doing the pause tapes and everything like that. Since you knew him from back in the day, y'all were in like kind of close neighborhoods. Were you ever thinking about being a part of the Hitmen back in the day?
When Nasheem started interning with Puff, I remember him. He went away for a little while. I think he was even living wherever Puff might have been in Syracuse at the time. I don't think he was in Mount Vernon, but wherever he was at that particular time, he was away, and he would come back and kind of talk about what he was working on. But it didn't, to me, it just sounded like he was doing something. Now, remember, this is before all of the stuff happened, and I was always working on with groups around the way. He was always doing stuff with groups around the way. He had a group called Sticks and Stones that included Harv Pierre, part of the group, so he was always doing something. So this to me just sounded like him doing something else. So I never really connected the idea of, I need to go with the Hitmen. Now, at this time as well, I was in school, so I was always working on other things for my other side of my life too, outside of music. Right. So I didn't really take it seriously at that particular time,
Yeah. So yeah, I just kind of wondered that since you knew him and stuff, But yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. I didn't really, until actually you're talking about Nasheem, when he went away and then I was finishing school and working on school, I didn't hear from Nasheem for a long time, Then I heard about the work he was doing. I was like, oh, he's doing this thing good. So it wasn't until Simon Says it was hit. Monch was in the studio somewhere in the city in Manhattan. He ran into Nasheem at a session, because the climate, the culture at one time in New York was everybody was always working. Everybody was always in the studio bouncing around. It was a really a good scene. So he ran into Nasheem at one time, and Monch was like, yo, I worked on this album with Lee, and the song is like Lee Stone. So that reconnected me and Nasheem. Nasheem's like, give Lee my number, tell him to call me. So then we reconnected after a long break. That's how we started hooking back up. Yeah.